Have you ever wondered why some people seem completely unshaken in the face of adversity? No matter how much life throws at them, stress, challenges, or personal trials, they remain calm and composed. What's their secret? Long ago, in his search for truth, Buddha uncovered the keys to mental strength, not through force or willpower, but through wisdom and self-mastery. His teachings on resilience, mindfulness, and inner peace offer profound insights into how we can all build unbreakable mental strength. Ready to discover the ancient wisdom that can help you remain steady through life's storms? Let's dive in and uncover Buddha's path to true mental fortitude. Why this wisdom matters today. In today's fast-paced, stress-filled world, it's easy to feel overwhelmed. From work pressures to personal struggles, the demands on our minds can be exhausting. Many people turn to external sources, drugs, distractions, or even avoidance, hoping they can escape stress. But the truth is, true mental strength doesn't come from escaping challenges. It comes from how we face them. Buddha's teachings on mental fortitude remind us that while we can't control everything that happens around us, we can control how we respond to it. The foundation of an unbreakable mind is built on understanding, acceptance, and clarity. Buddha taught that inner peace is not a state we attain once everything is perfect, but rather something we cultivate by training our minds to stay balanced amid life's inevitable struggles. Today, we're going to explore how to harness that inner strength and use it to navigate life with resilience and wisdom. Understanding. Mind over matter. Buddha's life story itself is a testament to the power of the mind. Born into luxury, he could have stayed in his palace, shielded from the world's suffering. But instead, he chose to face the pain, sickness, and death that surrounded him, understanding that true strength is rooted in mental clarity and wisdom. One of the first steps Buddha took toward enlightenment was learning to understand his own mind. He realized that the mind, when left uncontrolled, can lead to suffering. Negative thoughts, fears, and attachments cloud our judgment and weaken our resolve. Mental strength begins with understanding that you have the power to shape your thoughts, not the other way around. Buddha's insight into the power of the mind shows us that, like a gardener, we can tend to our thoughts and cultivate a peaceful, focused mind. The more we train our minds, the more resilient and unshakable we become, able to face life's challenges with calmness instead of anxiety. The role of mindfulness in mental strength. Mindfulness was one of Buddha's most powerful tools. To him, mindfulness wasn't just about meditation, it was about being present, fully aware of the thoughts and sensations occurring in the moment. In the fast-paced, distraction-heavy world we live in today, mindfulness is more crucial than ever. When we're distracted, we're vulnerable to stress and negative thinking. But when we practice mindfulness, we gain the ability to observe our thoughts without judgment or reaction. It's like standing on the edge of a storm. Rather than being swept away by the winds, you remain grounded, watching them pass by. This mental clarity allows us to respond to challenges with purpose, not reaction. Buddha's teachings remind us that mental strength doesn't come from suppressing our emotions or thoughts, but from observing them, understanding them, and choosing to act from a place of awareness. Through regular mindfulness, we build a steady and unshakable mind that can face any adversity with equanimity, acceptance, and letting go of control. One of the greatest lessons Buddha taught was the importance of acceptance. We often resist the things we cannot control, whether it's the actions of others, the passage of time, or the inevitable hardships of life. This resistance creates internal tension and drains our energy. Buddha's wisdom teaches that true mental strength comes not from controlling everything around us, but from accepting the natural flow of life. Acceptance doesn't mean passive resignation. It means embracing reality as it is, without attachment or judgment. When we stop resisting life's challenges and instead allow them to unfold, we find a sense of freedom. Buddha compared this to the image of a river. Resisting the current only causes pain, but when we surrender to it, we flow effortlessly forward. In times of hardship, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What can I learn from this?" This shift in perspective transforms obstacles into opportunities for growth, and it builds unshakable mental resilience, the strength in emotional detachment. Buddha's teachings also emphasize the power of emotional detachment. This doesn't mean becoming cold or indifferent to the people around us. Instead, it means not allowing our emotions to control us. When we attach ourselves too strongly to people, possessions, or outcomes, we risk losing our peace when those things are taken away. Emotional detachment is the ability to feel without being overwhelmed, to love without possessiveness, and to engage with life without clinging to it. Buddha himself practiced this detachment, not by avoiding relationships or experiences, but by cultivating an inner space where his happiness didn't rely on external circumstances. By practicing emotional detachment, we free ourselves from the emotional roller coaster that comes with attachment. This does not mean we stop caring. It means we care deeply, but with an understanding that all things are temporary. This awareness strengthens the mind, allowing us to face emotional challenges with greater ease and clarity, turning pain into wisdom. Suffering is a central theme in Buddha's teachings, but Buddha didn't view suffering as something to be avoided at all costs. He saw it as an opportunity for growth. He taught that through our suffering, we have the chance to cultivate wisdom. Life's difficulties, whether they come in the form of heartbreak, failure, or disappointment, are inevitable. But how we respond to them is what shapes our mental strength. Rather than trying to escape suffering or push it away, Buddha encouraged us to face it directly and see what it has to teach us. Every painful experience carries a lesson, whether it's learning patience, resilience, or forgiveness. When we allow ourselves to feel our pain fully and then release it, we free ourselves from its grip. By embracing suffering as a teacher, we cultivate wisdom that makes our minds stronger and our hearts more compassionate. The importance of compassion. Buddha's teachings on compassion are deeply connected to mental strength. It might seem counterintuitive. How can compassion, which often involves vulnerability, contribute to strength? But the truth is, compassion builds a strong heart and a resilient mind. When we practice compassion, we stop seeing others as obstacles or threats. Instead, we recognize that everyone is facing their own struggles, and we begin to feel connected rather than isolated. In difficult moments, compassion shifts our focus from me to us. We stop thinking only about our own suffering and extend kindness to others. This act of empathy releases the mental tension that comes from self-centeredness and opens the heart to peace. Buddha taught that compassion isn't just for others, it's also for ourselves. When we treat ourselves with kindness, we build the mental strength to overcome adversity. Compassion strengthens the mind by softening the heart, turning it into a wellspring of inner power. The practice of non-resistance. Buddha's practice of non-resistance is another cornerstone of mental fortitude. This teaching means not fighting against the inevitable, such as aging, loss, or failure. In a world that pushes us to constantly strive, resist, and force outcomes, non-resistance might seem like weakness. But in reality, it's the practice of yielding to life's natural rhythms without allowing them to overwhelm us. Imagine trying to stop the tide with your hands. It's futile. But if you learn to go with the flow, you'll find that the waves don't have to drown you. In life, challenges will come, and things will not always go as planned. By practicing non-resistance, you cultivate peace because you stop fighting reality and start accepting it as it is. This inner peace allows you to act with greater clarity and resilience, facing every situation without getting swept away by emotion or fear. Daily practices to build an unbreakable mind. Buddha's insights become tangible through daily routines that strengthen your mind step by step. Start with short sessions of meditation, focusing on your breath to anchor your awareness in the present. This cultivates mental clarity, making it easier to spot negative thought patterns before they take over. Journaling can also help. Spend a few minutes each evening reflecting on moments when you felt challenged or anxious. Ask yourself, what triggered me, and how could I respond differently? Incorporate acts of kindness toward yourself and others, a supportive text message, a thoughtful gesture, so compassion becomes a habit. If you find yourself resisting a difficult situation, pause, take a deep breath, and gently let go of the need to control it. Over time, these simple practices root you in mindfulness, acceptance, and resilience. They may seem small, but each one fuels the inner strength that grows into a mind capable of weathering any storm. Buddha's wisdom reveals that unbreakable mental strength isn't about forcing yourself to stay strong. It's about embracing the truth of who you are, mastering your mind, and finding peace in every moment. When you practice mindfulness, acceptance, emotional detachment, and compassion, you build a foundation that can weather any storm. The secret to mental strength is not avoiding pain or hardship, but learning to face them with wisdom and resilience. Which principle stood out to you the most? Let me know in the comments. And if you found value here, remember to subscribe for more insights. May Buddha's timeless teachings guide you toward a peace that cannot be shaken,